Okay, so this is a video that's intended for professionals who do readings for other people, and it's in relationship to flipping the question. So I have several videos on this. I'm going to be putting them into a composite blog post so that everything is kind of put there in one spot about this flipping the question. But we've talked about, when you ask a question of the Lenormand, particularly if it's something like a yes/no, you need to set it up or arrange the question in such a way that the yes cards will indicate a yes. So like bouquet and sun and beautiful cards like that will indicate a definite yes, and the no cards would be the negative cards like the coffin or the scythe if it means ending, or the snake, that sort of thing. You want to make sure they mean a no. And some people will say, ask for what you wish for, so that would make it more positive, but there's even some circumstances when this would not work. For example, if you were to say, suppose you just had it with a relationship and you wish it would end, and you're wondering if that's the right thing to do. So you would say, should we divorce or should we break up? So if you're leaning toward yes, just remember that the ending cards are also the negative cards. So if you got the path at the end, that means split. That's considered one of the more negatively charged cards. If you have the coffin at the end, that's a negative card. But you want you want the yes card. So if you want to say, should we break up, the yes cards would typically be cards like the bouquet and all that stuff. So you just want to say, like, is it worth staying together or something like that? And so you got to ask the same type of question to get the same information you want. You just want to word the question in such a way. So it's not always about what we want, but often it is. So these are the questions that clients come to us for. So you're going to have people lining up for you for readings with things like, is he cheating? Will I get fired? Is this house going to foreclose? All of these are questions that will need to be flipped. Did we wait too long for this? Is she lying? Will he break up with me? Will we divorce? Will we lose the deal? Will the car break down on the road trip we're going on? So all these things are questions that are worded in such a way that the yes cards will be actually meaning like the opposite. If you get, so for example, if you say, will I get fired, that you want yes cards to be the positive cards, but obviously if you get the coffin or if you get the snake, those are also going to mean trouble, and those also mean yes. So you have to just line up the questions so that it's clearly delineated yes and no. So instead of will I get fired, is will they keep me on the job? Instead of is she lying, is she being honest with me? That sort of thing. So in terms of when you're doing readings for your clients, so on one of my YouTube videos, someone said, well, it's a good thing for clients to know when they should ask questions differently. And that is not what this is about. This is about the reader being able to understand the language of the cards. And the client never needs to know you're doing this. It's just so that you can use your skills to understand and interpret. Consider yourself like a language interpreter, whether it's a Spanish to English interpreter and the cards are speaking one language and you're sharing it with the person, or a sign language interpreter. You're just basically telling them what the cards are saying. So you never have to say, oh, that's not the way we ask the question, because in my heart, that feels insulting to tell a client that what they want to know is not the right thing to ask. You don't even want to take them there. You want to respect the question in your head. So if they come to you and say, like, look, is he cheating on me? So in your head, you're saying, is he being faithful? And you put down the cards and you just say, it looks like there's something funny going on. Yeah, it could be a possibility. Or, no, it looks like I see a lot of loyalty here. So you never have to educate or teach the client how to read cards, because that's not their purpose, is to go there and learn how to read cards. Just like when I go to get my car fixed, the carburetor may need to be fixed. I don't want to learn how to do it. I don't want him to teach me about the parts he could have used, but what he used instead, and tell me the detail. I just want to go, get it done right, and get back on the road. I'm going there for a service. I just want this repaired and done right. If I'm going to have, say, blood tests done at the lab, I don't want to know how they're doing each blood test. I just want the results. And I want to know what I'm going to be able to do with those results. And this is what your clients are looking for. They want results. They want answers. They're looking for information that you can give them, and they want to be able to do something with that information. So flip the question and ask, Also, don't forget to ask, to guide your clients to see if they want to also, once they have the answer, ask empowering questions in addition to it. Say, would you have any interest in knowing, like, is there something that you could do to make this better? Or if they're worried about the house foreclosing, is there information that you're looking for that we could look for that might be able to help stave this off or make it better? If they're asking about somebody, if they're lying, you might want to say, is there something more that you want to know about this friend? Maybe I should just ask, you know, is it worth keeping? And that sort of information. So, and then you're kind of adding on to what they may want to know. If they're only coming to you for one question, you don't have to keep adding on different things. But I always like to have the person leave with a sense of empowerment and to know that they can create shifts in their life, or that they have some kind of control over some things. Not everything is something we're going to have control over. You know, if they're going to get fired, they may get fired, and there may not be anything you can do to change it. But it's always good to, if there can be any kind of shift created in our world, that's the power of doing readings. It's not just telling people something and getting it right and having some sort of chip added to your shoulder because you did a good job as a reader. You want to really help people navigate through their world so that they have some sense of control or power. I read the cards for myself for that reason, so I want to know things to make my choices better, but I know how to ask questions to keep guiding myself. It's like, well, what would be the direction I should take now? So I want to offer that to other people as well. So ask their questions. I would never insult anybody by saying like they're asking wrong. I just know in my head how to flip the question, how to make the cards speak to me the way they should, and I do it. You're going to see that the answer, even when you don't tell them how you flipped the question, the answer still gives you what you need to know. It's just the cards are clearer. So it's respecting, you know, the client and letting them feel that their question is validated, to make sure that they feel honored when they sit in your space. Okay, so I hope that's helpful as a professional reader for you working with your clients. And I love hearing tips that other people have as well working with their clients. So feel willing to share if you have anything that you feel is helpful to other readers as well. Take care.